I was going back and forth on if I do this tonight, tomorrow, or if I do it ever. Um, Let me just preface this so I can get a certain crowd of people out of here. Fuck you, Freeze. Now, if that statement makes you leave the video, okay. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. I don't give a shit. But I just want everybody to understand going to this video. I don't waste anybody's time. Fuck you, Freeze. Now let's go into the rest of the video. Um, I usually do like a itemized kind of review of what happened in the course of the video or the game. I'm not gonna do that because I don't remember a lot of it by now. It's been like 5 hours, I guess, since the game ended, and also I'm just saddened to this point. So I'm going to kind of just give a general premise of kind of what I want to cover here. So let's go to the team stats. In broad strokes, we being Auburn, lost the first down battle by 3, got outgained by 120 yards, 2 picks to 0. I would contend that the first pick was the Hail Mary. The second one was, I guess, the last play of the game. Yeah. So I mean, basically both were inconsequential. I mean, more or less. And then one fumble lost, which was the Scott. No, not Scott. Not Scott. The Coy Moore fumble. So basically, one turnover ended up being the game. Only a 5-minute disadvantage in terms of possession, which probably cut the game in real winning shot, I guess. I don't know how to form that sentence. Listen, dude, it's like 10 p.m., dude. I'm fucking going here. We went 4-12 on third down and then did not go for fourth down. I guess the best way to format this is kind of like what lost Auburn the game. So I guess a few things. Number one, number two are going to pretty much be back to back in terms of importance and almost timing as well. The Coy Moore fumble, I think, is number one because number two can't happen without one happening. I honestly, let's see. So let's do play by play. It's recent up to where this shouldn't be too hard to find. Punt. James Burnip. Okay. Dude, ESPN is so fucking ass. So the fumble would have roughly, it don't list when it happened, but the fumble would have roughly happened around 4:48 because Alabama punted around that time, and then Alabama punted around that time. They got the ball back. So yeah, around 4:48. Now I don't think they had full timeouts by that point, but I do think they had at least a couple. Off the top of my head, I want to say. You probably need, with the current rules, probably 3 first downs to ice the game situation. You got 40 seconds to play, and it's a running clock until like the last 2 minutes. So if you just ran down a normal list of plays for like 40 seconds per, that would have got you to 40, 80, so a minute and 20. That would have got you 2 minutes from first down to third down. Yeah, I mean, one drive would have probably got you down to pretty close to 2 minutes, assuming they don't use a timeout, which, if it's only 2 minutes remaining, Auburn got the ball around our own 30-yard line. I don't think they used a timeout. I'm just kind of game planning here. You would have at least needed 1 first down and probably 2 to complete. If they did have a full set of timeouts, I don't think they did, but if they did, you would have probably needed 3 first downs to have any shot at really icing the clock down entirely. Which, I mean, with the way if we look back at it, they got 5 plays in what was pretty much their last real drive. They had 16 plays in the field goal drive. They had 5 plays on the touchdown drive. So I mean, it's when you look at it's still crazy to get adjusted to the new clock. Auburn had 3 real possessions in the entire half of football. Now that being said, they had one drive that was damn near an entire quarter in of itself, and Alabama had a 5-minute drive themselves, and another 4-minute drive to close the game out. But it's just crazy. Look at the possession counts in games nowadays. I really hate the bullshit they did with the running clock in this. I mean, I said that multiple times. I said that so many times actually, but I mean, Auburn gets the ball 3 real times in what was effectively 2 hours of football in real life, in real time. That's just insane to fucking think about, dude. I'm sorry. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a first down would probably been almost guaranteed the way to run the ball. Now, 2 first downs, I don't know, 3. I think they need at least 2. I don't know if they needed 3, but they need at least 2. Would have been tough. Would have definitely been tough. It would have been a tough one. Let me see. So obviously number 2 then is the Cormore fumble, or the 4th and 25. I think officially would be the 4th and 25. No, it actually was a 31-yard play. Okay, the 4th and 25 was the Arkansas play years ago against Hugh Freeze. So it actually was 4th and 31. Just inexcusable. One of the all-time greatest slip-ups in this series and Iron Bowl series. No matter what series you want to think about, just an all-time great fumble. Let's see. I'm going to pull it back up real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Isaiah Bond. Should be pretty easy to find it like this. So it was, as you can tell, it was basically a 2-man rush, and then you got a spy over the middle who, I don't really know the point of the spy, honestly. The spy doesn't make any sense to me, just because of the simple fact that, I think I explained it somewhere else. In the, pretty much what you want to eliminate, to me, is what happened. That's the reality that you want to eliminate. You have to really just account for only so many, scenarios. Trying to reduce, what I would guess, try to reduce him from break and contain is just nonsensical to me, because if he does break contain, if he gets past the line of scrimmage, he's fucked. I mean, he just had that happen the previous play, so you pretty much go into it knowing he's not going to try to make a real effort to go past the line of scrimmage. I mean, what, you think he's going to get 30 yards running the ball? The thing is, I will say, if you don't run a spy and you just kind of rush the passer, everybody's going to be pretty much roughly at the end zone as far as your defensive backs. So, I mean, I get, logically speaking, he's probably got a lot of yards running the ball before somebody can stop him. But, you like I said, you can only stop so many scenarios. If you're really that concerned over the 4th and 30 and him running that down, I commit more to the box, I guess. That just shouldn't be a scenario that's making you basically waste a man. That man that you had out there did not defend a pass and also did not rush the passer. He effectively had no real value in that situation, other than eliminating a scenario that probably was not particularly likely, in my opinion, which is him running for 30 yards to get a touchdown to ice the game out. Now, as far as the actual coverage, the best I can see, just from scrolling on Twitter, which I probably should check YouTube out. God damn, I wish I had a better fucking replay of this. Let's see if we can find anything at all. Just scrolling. Does not appear. Does not. Anyway, it looks like to me that the safeties got pulled inside, which you can kind of verify when you look at the end of this play. Both the safety that would have been closest to DJ James, the cornerback on that play on Isaiah Bond, he's coming over, and then there's a mess of other DBs on the other side of the field. It's hard without knowing the play. I mean, it's fucking Twitter, dude. The one time you need to really come through for you. You might ask yourself, like, why? Like, why are there no DBs outside? But best I could guess is that they went 5 out, so I'm assuming that the inside receivers are more or less decoys, and the play was designed to go to a outside receiver in the situation. That's my best assumption. I don't know that for a fact, but without being able to see them play to this entirety, that'd be my best guess. Is that more or less they were decoys, and really, does he even look to any other receiver in the situation? I'm trying to see if he reads the field at all. Really, let me see. Okay, so he seems to more or less. Okay, so he does like look over to the right. So he does scan the field. I don't think. Bond, for I can tell, like you can't really tell if he's receiver one on that situation or not because of the simple fact that like they're trying to give time for dudes to run out, to the end zone. So I don't know if he's receiver one, but basically I can tell he does look over to his right for quite a sustained period of time before coming back to Bond. So I'm guessing that the slot receivers probably are not really having a pronounced impact on that play. I know that CBS on their broadcast had a replay that kind of looked over in the sky view, but I can't find that on YouTube either right now at this moment. Number 3, as far as like kind of these, massive plays that obviously have real impact. For me, the Fairweather catch, or a lack thereof, because on that drive, they finish, was it 5? I think it was 10 yards short of the depicted field goal range for our guy, McPherson. So, I would think that you get that they got some play that let them kind of get down. I think it's Javari. I think Javari's play happened soon after. But you get the Fairweather catch. You kind of save some time, and you also can maybe even save the Javarius play for a little bit later, which was a really designed play, well designed play. But I don't know, man. I didn't really like thoroughly enjoy our, kind of supposed number one receiver, just being able to make really a tough catch. That's really what I feel like for all year, man. You see Fairweather out there, dude. He just does not make like wide receiver one catches, and I know he's a tight end, but like he is effectively a wide receiver one. You kind of have to hold him to a certain level of standards, and he's been his catch radius is just non-fucking existent, dude. I don't know how else to put it. It's just nothing. He's got no catch radius whatsoever, dude. It's kind of hard like watching him out there sometimes. He doesn't really make the tough catches. He had another drop that I think was on 2nd down, maybe 3rd down. He's coming over the middle. Now, I will say on this one in my head, it was 2 Alabama DBs. He got it in his hands, though, and then it got broken up. He just isn't, like, especially compared to the hype they supposed to have had before the season. He's just not, like, that good a receiver. He's for a tight end, he's solid, but he's not, on the level of what you need to be a, tight end one, obviously. Or a wide receiver one that's supposed to be, kind of converted tight end. My fucking throat hurts, dude. That's it for me. I don't know what else to say. I just kind of want to think about some big plays. And I guess add some value to this, some other value. Listen, you got to have some macro in here. You got to have some macro belief and perspective. I think it's important. I really do. In the macro, we've seen that this coaching staff really has the ability to play up to some really like superior talent. Like, Alabama and Georgia are objectively superior rosters. I'm not going Hugh Freeze when I say that, making excuses. They are objectively better rosters. And this coaching staff has showed the ability to play comparable to them. Ole Miss had a better team. I don't know how much better a roster, but a better team. And they played Ole Miss very competitively for 3/4 of the game, something like that. Um, so, I mean, we see that these dudes are not scrubs. I will say, though, people are catching on to it now, I guess, because of the honeymoon period being over with. But, I mean, it's very clear that Freeze is a guy who has a trend, who has some demons behind him. Same way Gus does. I mean, Gus got UCF got Gus, and kind of anybody would have told him like, hey, you got to accept that there's probably going to be at least 1 to 2 games that are inexplicable losses that Gus will have, and he had a lot of those when they were in Group 5. He had a few in their first year in the Big 12. And then he's probably going to have at least 1 or 2 games where he coaches above his ass to win, or at least be competitive. He had a few of those, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State, actually. It's just something you're gonna get out of certain coaches. Hugh Freeze has demons. Hugh Freeze, as long as he's been playing major or coaching major football, pretty much, you can look this up, has like at least 1 game that is an inexplicable type defeat. 2014, 2015, 2016, and then some Liberty moments in there that were very ugly as well. That's just him. You're gonna get that. He is not a coach's coach. I would contend he is a really good recruiter. He is a floor raiser, and he's somebody that Auburn. You can see why Auburn got him. Now, if you come into this saying, I thought Auburn wanted to be back in the national title conversation immediately, that's not him. I don't think he's going to get them into like top 5 consistently. They're going to be there occasionally. But are they going to be Georgia? No, they're not. Kirby's like those chops in some of those tight moments, even factoring the years of losing Alabama, his chops are really supreme. I think what's the one I'm looking for? His desire to sometimes go to that kind of underdog story. The word I'm looking for would be so apropos here, but I think that cost him. I mean, I definitely think that there were some teams that could have won the title before 2021 that, for one, hubris. It's hubris with dudes like from losing out on Eason, losing out on Fields, losing out on guys that were like real like ceiling raisers. Definitely cost him. But I mean, at the same time, like, you have to understand that he found a offensive play caller in Monken. He found a defensive play style and more so talent that allowed him to kind of double down on the way he wanted to play. And then he found Stetson, who was basically surgical. He was a guy that really, basically the AJ McCarron for them in a certain sense. You knew that the level of competence was going to be at such a ceiling, and the chance for turnovers were going to be so low that, you really weren't going to lose too many games based on Stetson. I think Fromm is a guy you sit there and look at like, okay, Fromm, he kind of needs idle situations. He's not going to win you too many games. Stetson can win you a few games. AJ won you a few games. Those type of guys can win you a few games. There's a little bit of a difference between a Fromm and AJ, even though they played very similarly. So that being said, what is he? Like, I think what you look at goal-wise to me with Freeze, as you say, top 10 class, I think you need a certain level of talent to mask Freeze's obvious coaching discrepancies, gaps as a coach. If you really want to say, let's compete for a title, and I mean in the new 12 team format. To be top 12 in the free, I think you need a certain level of talent, and I think that's probably around top 10. Kind of like Cristobal-esque. Cristobal is going to cost you, I think, bare minimum like 2 games a year based on just incompetency. But if you get to that level of talent to where they almost bail him out of, just for being a shitty coach, then you're in your bag. I mean, I think that could be Freeze one day. I think Freeze can get these guys kind of like 2015-ish Ole Miss, where the team is just so good. They win a game against a guy they probably shouldn't win against. Even though Freeze may fucking suck ass. That might be a situation that happens. So I think you need that. I think going into this upcoming season, I think you probably need, I would say 8-4 is the foundation in regular season. I think you need at least 8-4. It's not a favorable schedule, but it's not a bad one. I'll pull it up and walk through it with you guys real quick. This is gonna pretty much be my send off. I'm not doing another football fucking video because these niggas fucking, I hate them. I obviously don't really hate them if I'm doing a fucking this whole bullshit 30-minute video, but I hate these motherfuckers. No, I really, if I wanted to do some complimentary shit, I mean, I thought Freeze gave a game plan that wins you 3/4 of football. I thought the DC, fuck Ron Roberts. I'm not complimenting Ron Roberts. Javar, amazing game. Thorne did as much as you could ask for him to do with being Peyton Thorne. Jarquez, before the injury, I thought he was fantastic on those off tackle runs. Damari's a real gamer. I really don't need to compliment any other receiver. I mean, Caleb Burton made one catch. Fairweather, like I already talked about Fairweather. I'm not doing that shit again. This offensive line, I thought they did comparable to Alabama's offensive line. I really did. It's just that Milroe is a game breaker, and you really don't need a good offensive line to let Milroe cook, unless you're Texas, who has a god tier defensive front. But if you have anything less than Texas's front, A&M did alright against them, but you need that Texas level front to really bring Milroe down. And unfortunately, Auburn, as good as Marcus Harris was, as okay as everybody else was, that front seven, we just didn't have any kind of level. We didn't have any contain whatsoever. Just play after play, just dog shit contain. The linebackers, you got to upgrade the linebackers. That's one thing that Freeze did identify, and Spades. We just needed as many linebackers as possible that were real game changers. Dudes we had as it is, just, I mean, I respect all of them for what they've accomplished relative to their expectations. I mean, Larry Netson, fucking Steiner, these dudes were not heralded prospects, but they achieved a lot considering what, low expectations they've had. SEC dude, you saw with Jaden Daniels, you saw with Jetson Dart. You got to have a certain level of linebacker play, and we just have not had it in 2 years, bro. I would contend that at least 2 of the high level linebacker S prospects we got, which I think there's 3 of them, maybe 4. I say at least 2 of them are starting. I would guarantee you that shit. And you probably need him too, honestly, at this point, man. You probably need him. Secondary, man, Simpson laid the wood on one play. Pritchett had a crazy pass breakup on, I think it was 3rd down. DJ had some plays, man. DJ had some plays. I don't even know who to blame the touchdown on, the first touchdown he gave up, the long one. I don't know who to blame it on, man. I still don't know, because, I mean, if you look at the replay that CBS had, man, both the corner and the safety are peeking in the backfield. CB, Jameson situation, he peeks again before kind of letting Burton run past him, and he still looks like he's playing. I mean, it looks like zone to me. He's playing zone. It looks like, based on the way he's kind of running there, it looks like he's really expecting some coverage to come over and help. And the safety, like in the last second, like before Milroe lets it go, he like looks back and realizes that fucking what's his name just ran past him. I'm led to believe that James is like has his own and seems to stick with that for the most part. And then the safety, who I still don't know, I think it was, I don't know if it was Puckett. I don't know. Let me see. Auburn roster. I think it was number 10. I don't know who that is though, like concretely. Let me see. Da-da-da. The safety definitely just does not make enough of an effort to get over in a situation. Let me see. That would have been Puckett. Yeah, Puckett gotta go. I'm not trying to be negative. Puckett gotta get the fuck out of here, dude. He gotta go. Puckett has just been terrible this season, dude. I mean, just god awful. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. I had a point earlier. Oh, the schedule. I gotta look up. I gotta see the Zion Puckett slander, dude. I gotta see this Zion Puckett slander. I'm gonna watch that on my own time. That motherfucker, dude, he gotta go, man. And no disrespect to Zion Puckett. Like, I never disrespect anybody on a personal level when it comes to this football shit, bro. Zion Puckett, I wish him all the props. I'm sure he's had some amazing plays for Auburn, but yeah, dude gotta go. ASA fucking P, dude. Anyway, the schedule, and we close out of this. New Mexico guaranteed. Not New Mexico State, who we just played, but New Mexico. ULM guaranteed November 16th. This should probably be the burner game. No, they got at least one more game because November the 16th, November 9th, November 2nd. So realistically, November 23rd. That should be a 5 Saturday November. So that should be one more game after the ULM game. So that won't be the burner game, I would imagine. That should be a 5 November year, I would think. So Alabama, at Alabama, Arkansas, Oklahoma, A&M, Vanderbilt, at Georgia, at Kentucky, at Missouri. So this is more or less what the schedule's going to look like for this season. The 2025 one, they don't have cemented at all so far, but this should be this one. I think we have an open slot, I want to say. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 2 open slots. So probably, I guess, do they not play Cal again? Was that just a one-off game? I guess so. I don't know. Probably you need, they may not do contested. God damn it, I can't do this browser. Fuck me. They may not do a high-level OOC game. They may just do a burner one, honestly. That's going to be pretty commonplace going forward with the way the SEC works now. 2024 Auburn schedule. I just typed this in. I don't know why the fuck I didn't have it pulled up still, but I'm trying to find it. I'm assuming it just hasn't been updated since then. Non-con. Okay, so they do have the Cal. It's not listed on the site I went to. So they still do have Cal. Okay. Sure. So that means they're missing one slot. Okay. So the Cal game will probably be either the first or the third game, I would imagine. That's, to me, you got to win 8-4 with that. Your losses that you will just absolutely take, who gives a shit. At Alabama, at Georgia, those are 2 losses. Okay, whatever. Outside of that, dude, Arkansas will be bringing Pittman back, who's terrible, and they'll be playing him in Auburn. Oklahoma will be coming off of a 2-loss season. I mean, you don't want to lose that game, but it wouldn't be the worst thing. But I mean, A&M, that should be favored in Auburn. Vanderbilt should be favored in Auburn. At Kentucky, they'll be supposedly bringing in a new coach. Their coach will actually be A&M coaches, if you believe in the rumors. And at Missouri, who had a generational year this season and probably won't have another one again for a while. 8-4 to me is a 4 here. That gives you 2 trap games, more or less, and Hugh Freeze will use those liberally. So you got the 2 obvious losses, then 2 trap games somewhere. We don't really play fucking LSU or Ole Miss. Who gives a shit about Ole Miss? We don't play LSU. God damn it, dude. We don't play LSU. We don't play fucking LSU, man. That's so weird, dude. This fucking SEC shit sucks, man. Fuck. Anyway, that's it. Peace, man. I got nothing else to say. It was a shitty season, but Cam Coleman, man.